Essa missão de fique de olho no mendigo, eu vou te falar, hein? Enquanto eu tô tomando café.
These writings could be of import. Let's have a look then.
Tá. Vou passar um tempo aqui na.
Welcome to the Star Drop. We serve all manner of fine ales here. Shall I pour you a cup to... Always a pleasure.
Gather round, gather round.
Look, Master, treasure chest. We shall have to find a way to reach it.
And should my story entertain you, nay, even if it should, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. You, listen close, and your focus apply to this tale of a giant who touches the sky. Our hero, oft forgotten by history in spite of his worth, awoke one fell morning to rumbling earth.
I overheard some of the soldiers standing guard outside the palace discussing a curious rumor.
Regarding the Queen Regent and an important personage, you mean?
Indeed. Some suppose there is more to her relationship with this Batali dignitary than is publicly known.
For a forking stretched the sea. The figure was striding through waters up to the knee. This realization explained the bizarre. What had appeared close was being seen from afar. For truly, the figure was mammoth in size, tall enough to be blinded by the clouds in the skies. One thing was certain. Should it walk upon land, no city, no mountain would outlast its hand. So he challenged its ingress with voice loudly drawn, and in an instant the giant was gone. Aye, in the face of his valor, the gigantus did pale. But who among you can name the hero of our tale? 'Twas none other than Lord Rosamond, who, needless to say, was the father of House Berkeley, which lives on to this day. Gather round, treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain you, nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, and your focus apply to this tale.
This ladder looks sturdy enough to climb.
We ought to put it to good use.
Oft forgotten by history in spite of his worth, awoke one fell morning to rumbling earth. In panic he started, out the front door he leapt, to behold what had approached a knight as he slept. 'Twas a mysterious figure, but be it friend or foe, on shaking legs did he approach, the better to know. Yet he did not get near, for afore him stretched the sea. The figure was striding through waters up to the knee. This realization explained the bizarre. What had appeared close was being seen from afar.
Bora.
The figure was mammoth in size, tall enough to be blinded by the clouds in the skies. One thing was certain. Should it walk upon land, no city, no mountain would outlast its hand. So he challenged its ingress with voice loudly drawn, and in an instant the giant was gone. Aye, in the face of his valor, the gigantus did pale. But who among you can name the hero of our tale? 'Twas none other than Lord Rosamond, who, needless to say, was the father of House Berkeley, which lives on to this day.
Agora vai embora, vai.
Gather round,
Caralho, vai
Treat
contar de
your ears
novo.
to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain you, nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, and your focus apply to this tale of a giant who touches the sky. Our hero, oft forgotten by history in spite of his worth, awoke one fell morning to rumbling earth. In a panic he started, out the front door he leapt, to behold what had approached a night as he slept. 'Twas a mysterious figure, but be it friend or foe, on shaking legs did he approach, the better to know. Yet he did not get near, for afore him stretched the sea. The figure was striding through waters up to This realization explained the bizarre. What had appeared close was being seen from afar. For truly, the figure was mammoth in size, tall enough to be blinded by the clouds in the skies.
You wish me at the vanguard? By your will.
Should it walk upon land, no city, no mountain would outlast its hand. So he challenged its ingress with voice loudly drawn, and in an instant the giant was gone. Aye, in the face of his valor, the gigantus did pale. But who among you can name the hero of our tale? 'Twas none other than Lord Rosamond, who, needless to say, was the father of House Birkin, which lives on to this day.
Aê.
Wish I could go on an adventure.
My bed calls and I shan't resist.
You!
Look, as long as you
There'll be a few heavy curses one day.
peruse at your leisure.
What I need are customers who stop
Should I
by
get up to
regularly.
today?
So tired, I've barely the vim to tie my boots. Time I attended to the day's work. This place is awful dull. Still a while to go before my shift's
Bairro popular. Não ia achar ele nunca.
I don't know what to do. What should I do?
Not like
I don't know what to do.
Time to be heading. My fur stands on end.
Oh, it's not right. It doesn't make any sort of sense. The doctor examined him afore and said he'd be... Yet e'er since he came here, he's only got...
I understand how you must feel. There is no medicine that can heal him outright. I am caring for him. However,
Peraí, velho, deixa eu seguir
may
o
help
cara, mano.
convalescing.
Hope!
Dear, we are pressed enough.
All right, he stays.
I will look after him.
May I'll treat myself to a tickle before bed.
O cara começou a atrapalhar na hora.
Pests what worry me.
Ah, tá ali ele.
There are useful ingredients to be gathered here, old wager.
No harm in picking a few.
Let me be the one to collect it.
Rejoice, my darling, for your Albert is returned.
Welcome home, dear.
I spend my days spinning yarns, only to come home to a wife for
Pa-
whose radiance
Passo
I
dias
have no
inventando
words.
histórias e depois vou pra
If there is a
casa,
more
aos braços de uma
fortunate fool in
esposa
the
radiante.
city, I have yet to meet him.
Oh, you bold-faced flatterer.
What would you of me? I'll have no trouble, thank you.
Well met. This, I assume you'll be starting with the good stuff.
Passo inventando histórias.
Oh, well met, sir.
Tis
Tá,
a
tudo bem.
chest. I shall take a look inside.
Tis good to see you are well.
Sir, ought you not be in... Ah, forget. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Eleanor. I have the I regret that I cannot offer you a cup of tea, but I'm in the middle of making my rounds of the patients. Not to mention, I have to find the means to procure more medicinal ingredients. Oh. You wouldn't happen to know someone willing to brave the roads, would you? I know 'tis perilous, but there is one ingredient in particular we cannot afford to run out of. You would procure it yourself. I am great in that case. Might I trouble you to bring me some miasma?
Já tenho.
The slums are a bane to the body's humours, and its residents are oft prone to illness. We do what we can with what little we have, but we're always short. Your aid is most appreciated, sir. May your search...
Tell is, miasmite can be harvested from phantoms.
Caraca.
Monsters that wander the world at night.
Yes, of course. I see it now.
What should I do?
Quer dizer que o cara está mentindo.
Now there's a worthy prize. If only 'tweren't so far away.
Então, mano, me diga que tá mentindo e
Not much
contando
going
história.
on here about.
Ah, mano, eu fiz. E aí? Missões?
Ladder can take us to new heights.
Ah, why are you there? Your presence is requested at the tavern this evening. Who's the one requesting? I didn't ask. 'Tis none of my concern. The fellow said aught about the usual place. Were you not listening? The tavern, tonight, the usual place. Now you know you can leave me in peace. I don't have all day to play it.
Nota V.
Were you not listening? The tavern, tonight, the
Hoje à
usual
noite,
place.
no
Now
lugar de
you know you
sempre.
can leave me in peace. I don't have all...
Tá. Hoje à noite, né? Pra debater com aquele mentiroso lá.
Well met. You will soon forget the fatigue of a long journey when treated to...
Eu vou depositar o que der.
the
Tá de boa.
foremost hospitality.
7 pedras do teleporte, tá fácil. 11, ó. Aqui, ó. Minhas mitas.
In all Vernworth.
Claro que encontrei, velho. Eu sou zica, meu irmão. Pai é brabo.
Must you run so fast? I can hardly keep you in my sights, Arisen.
Let us endeavor to keep up, though we are less fleet of foot.
Ah, mano. Você tá reclamando? Eu vou dispensar você, assassino. Eu nunca vi um assassino que é pra ser ágil, tá morto. Quando eu saio correndo, ficar reclamando. Você tá me zoando, parceiro. Você me fez perder o foco, mano. Não vai ganhar presente nenhum. Lesado. Minha casa. Oh, eu vi alguém correndo, mano. Será que é o mensageiro misterioso, cara? Eu nada, você. Lá ele. Eu tô perdido, mano. Ah, tá ficando de noite. Deixa eu ver. Tá perdido. Acho que é num bairro nobre, mano. Ué, cadê? Ai, meu Deus. É só você olhar pela data de validade. Olha, esse aqui parece estar mais novo. O meu era assim e ficou assim. Ó, 5/23. A data de validade 5/23. Esse aqui 5/31. Então esse aqui é o novo. É, esse aqui é o velho. Ele você pode ver até que ele tá mais sujinho. O bairro nobre. Onde é que eu tô? Ah, tô ali. Deixa eu voltar lá pra cidade. Que assim eu me encontro. Aqui. Vamos ver por aqui. Vamos ver aqui. Acho que ele entrou aqui, né? Desceu aqui.
My head hurts just thinking about it.
Of course. No one had bothered.
Sets my thoughts down.
There must be this place.
Yes, sir. Have you procured what I asked? Splendid.
Nem precisei matar, hein?
Unfortunately, I can give you little more than that. Forgive me, but I must return to my round. Ah, but in place of a reward, mayhap I could give you a tour, only if you've the time and inclination, of course. What say you? Would you, as servants of the gracious hand, we provide whatever treatment we can, yet at times, 'tis not. Perhaps you will recall the parents who were here when you first arrived, an unfortunate pair. They've suffered no few hardships in the slums, and now, even their poor son Lubomir has fallen by chance. He was examined by a roaming man, claiming to be a doctor. Yet, the family had not the money for the medicine he required. So, he was put into our care.
I'll harvest what I can, should it please you.
O cara dentro do jarro.
Here he is. This young man is Lubomir. We've been administering the medicine recommended by the doctor who examined him. But to be perfectly honest, I doubt the soundness of that so-called doctor's judgment. After all, there is no shortage of ne'er-do-wells out there, willing to claim their medicine the only cure, that they might inflate its price. But I suppose I ought not say such things so openly. At any rate, I'd best continue on my rounds. Pray. Come, come. We've medicine to prepare. We've enough to make a fresh batch now, thanks to a kind donation.
Psst! You there. Help me. Listen, the sisters here are good to us, but I'm growing weaker day by day. It started with a slight fever, and now I can scarce lift myself up. See that empty bed? An old man was lying in it till just a few days past. He told me he was feeling better, that he'd be well enough to leave anon. And now he's... Mayhap I'm just imagining things. I hope that's the case. And yet... something isn't right about this place. Pray, should you hear any queer rumors about the Gracious Hand, come tell me of them, won't you?
Isso que bizarro, a mulher oferece ajuda. Não, pede ajuda, depois me mostra a casa. E o cara vem culpar a casa. Será que tem alguma coisa errada nessa história?
My prayers will surely be rewarded in the Might you be a friend of Lubomir's? He's seen better days, hasn't he? There has been talk of sending him down to the basement, should his condition fail to improve. That is, the basement sick room, where our most critical patients convalesce under the Abbess's care. None of the other sisters are permitted entry, including myself. Tell is, she gives the patients a special medicine. I know not what kind. A time, which is to be expected. Those who come here suffer all manner of afflictions, you see. And yet, a part of me is afeared for them.
Take this. It is something I found. I wanted you to have it. Ingredients are plentiful hereabouts.
Shall we see if there's aught to be found while we're here?
Well met. This here's the I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff. Keep those orders coming. This fearsome world of ours is best met with pleasure doing business with you. Well met. This here's the I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff.
Por que você me chamou pra vir aqui, mano? Aqui é um mendigo todo bonito.
Tis no more or less than what one might have expected.
We cannot expect gleaming treasures round every corner.
what to do. My head hurts just...
Pray, take this. Heaven...
My head hurts just thinking about it.
I've been on my feet all day.
As you say, I shall remain here till you give the word.
Que deserto fez que tava vindo?
Right, door's locked. That should do it.
Eu perdi o cara, mano. Isso aqui, ódio. Carro do cara ali, eu pensei que ele ia vir junto.
Always sets me to thinking, this place.
Isso que droga, deixa eu ir lá falar com o cara.
Such quietude is a blessing.
You wish me to return? At once, Master.
Go on, have a look. Well met. I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff.
Just be sure you mind.
Is it only? I seem to recall someone else boasting of just be sure you play your part well, whatever the truth. The Arisen takes the crap, a fellow Drake or two, and I reckon you'll earn the people's faith. Good luck to you.
Good day to you.
You fond of those eyes?
Aye, sir.
Pois então, mano, eu perdi o cara de vista.
Humility's here.
Mayhap I ought to be getting home.
What should I do? A moment's prayer can do a world of good.
This ladder looks sturdy enough to climb.
We ought to put it to good use.
Another day of work awaits.
A good sleep will ensure we're...
'Tis a perilous journey I've had arisen. 'Tis an odd thing to wake after the sun has fallen.
Shall we check our packs and be off?
Feeling rested, I trust?
Estranho acordar depois que o sol se põe. Vamos lá, cadê? Tem que voltar para a área nobre.
What am I supposed to do?
I don't know what to do.
Not game enough to hang about.
Ele está correndo.
Well met. This here's the... I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff. Many thanks.
Caraca, perdi o cara.
Well met. I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff. Pleasure doing business with.
Que horror, mano. Perdi o mendigo. Será que tem que fazer tudo de novo, de novo, de novo? Ai, não.
What should I do?
This sits funny. This place cheers me right up.
So, the worst of us are taken to the basement. Mayhap that's the source of the queer voices I hear, and none save the abbess can enter? If the gracious hand has a secret, 'tis the abbess who keeps it. You've done this much for me. Would you be willing to go further? I must find out what... you've my thanks. I just can't stomach the thought. Of course, all the better should your search come to naught. But if you do find aught amiss down in that basement, it must be. Should you find evidence fit to implicate her, will you help me see to it that justice is carried out? See, I've already reported my suspicions to the Sentinels, and we've arranged a signal. If you apprehend the abbess, they'll know to come and arrest her. So I beg you, sir, find the evidence you need, if it exists to be found.
To get to the bottom of what is happening at the Gracious Hand, we shall have to acquire evidence of any misdeeds.
I quite agree.
How might we enter the basement sick room?
Well said.
This place offers a view of the sea.
I imagine we would not escape a plunge into the water's depths.
Para evidências.
Lucky us. That's worth taking.
Só se for a noite que eu tiver que vir aí.
There are useful ingredients to be gathered here, I'll wager.
No harm in picking a few.
Farming might look like simple work.
Será que é aqui?
Danger might lurk anywhere. Wear every shadow. And mind the ceiling.
Naught can threaten us if we watch each other's backs.
Eu tô descendo. Foi triste, não é aqui. Tem um lugar pra dormir ali, ó. Tem uma pedra de Riftstone.
Too fast for ya?
Só esse cara que reclama de quando eu tô andando rápido. Porta ali, eu nunca tinha visto não. Uai.
How might we enter the basement sick room?
Well said.
Ah, eu também não sei, viu?
head hurts just thinking about it.
Now here's a welcome sight.
You!
My head will roll if water goes awry.
Zero emoções no fight.
You! Gather round, gather round!
There's a ladder here.
Ah, excellent find.
I don't tell of a beggar. So where's he get his coin then? Makes a man wonder, it does. Could be.
Gather round, gather round! Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should
A treasure chest. Shall we see if we can't make our way over to it?
Were you not listening? The
Then
tavern,
now.
tonight, the usual place. Now you know you can leave me in peace. I don't have all day to play at being a page.
Gather round, gather round! Treat your ears to a tale by a master and should my story entertain you?
Caralho, vem pro caminho mais longe.
We must rest, though the sun is still up. Open your eyes, everyone. It is dark out, but our day begins.
Step lively. Journey by starlight shall make for a nice change of pace.
Feeling rested, I trust?
Será que é nessa taverna aqui que ele tá falando pra mim?
What's this all about?
Just as it should be.
How's life treating you? Go on then. Tell me of your latest experience. Ready to give the
Mas aquele cara não tá aqui.
I see which way the wind's blowing.
Deixa eu ver se ele tá ali. Ali, ó.
Were you not listening? The tavern, tonight, the usual place. Now you know you can leave me in peace. I don't have all day to play at being a pet.
Como é que eu vejo que horas? Será que tá? Não dá pra ver as horas que são, né? Qual é o nome dele mesmo?
Were you not listening? Now you know you
Bernal.
can leave me in peace.
Sometimes I wonder if I'm cut out for this.
My head hurts just thinking about it.
How much longer I can hold out?
I know not why, but the words basement sick room set my hair on end.
Well met. This here's that I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff.
É Bernal, esse aqui é o outro, o Walter, né?
Ah, I'll take that. We might find a use for it.
Viu?
I shall gladly aid you if 'tis within my power.
I do hope naught befalls Lubomir. I should like to see him walk out of here in good health.
Almost forgot. Can't leave things half.
This is a place of prayer. Do keep your voice low.
I spend my days in quiet reflection. I fear I've much to attend to.
We have found a material.
I'm sure we'll find a purpose for it in due time.
Tá aberta a porta.
Oh, someone help me. Jahan? Bruno, where have you gone?
Lugar horrível.
Mayhap 'twould serve us well to track down the former patients mentioned in these records of treatment.
You have my support.
Remédio sem rótulo. Que é sangue.
This is for you, Master. I thought it might come in useful. I know precisely when a curative is needed, Master.
Oh, someone.
Se faça assim, eu vou chegar.
True faith must come before.
Ingredients are plentiful hereabouts.
Shall we see if there's...
Lady Eleanor's a good... I wavered between life and death for quite some time in that basement sick room, and she watched over me through it all, bless her. Can't say as I miss that basement, mind. 'Tis an eerie place, dark and shadowy. I suppose 'tis only to be expected, given the state of those assembled. I'm sure I was moaning too.
Elena. Ah, yes. The abbess of the Gracious Hand. A fine woman by all accounts. I was in her care once myself. But I must admit, I've always felt there's something... You see, I was only a little under the weather when I entered her care. But then I started getting sicker and sicker, till I was certain death would come. In the end, I survived, but methinks I was one of the lucky few. And once, I saw her, the abbess, meeting with a strange man. She handed him a large parcel, all wrapped up. And he gave her something small in return. You'd think 'twere medicine, but I'd not have bought medicine from a man like that. They were whispering, but I did hear one of them say aught about keeping quiet. 'Tis well, where'd they meet? 'Twas in the square in the eastern part of the common quarter, and always a night, as I recall.
Just remember, I've somewhere to be.
Na praça.
What should I
Tá
do?
marcando.
This ladder looks sturdy enough to climb.
We ought to put it to good use.
Here.
Aye, this is plenty. Lord Phasus is like nicely done. Suppose it can't have been easy to procure this much so quickly.
You suppose wrong. I command their full faith. 'Tis simple for me to extract what I require.
Ha! You're a fearsome one. Here's hoping I ne'er end up in your care.
Enough. I gave you yours, now you give me mine. I'd not be seen here with you.
Ah, of course. Wouldn't want to hurt the Lady Saint's image in the eyes of the common folk, would we? Here's your...
Glad we understand each other. Till next time.
Aye, be seeing you.
This is not the first we've heard of Lord Phasus. What could his aim be, I wonder?
That's odd.
What's your problem?
What's your problem? E você vai ficar aqui, vagabunda?
This is a place of prayer. Do keep your voice low.
Deixa eu ir na taverna agora. Pousada. Depois eu vou dar uma olhada nesse bordel, ver qual que é. Ai, taverna do Walter. Tem que ir lá. Só ser um caminho pra ir pra lá, mano. E ficar precisando do mapa. O cara fala meia-noite na taverna.
My head hurts just thinking about it.
Eu só tô rodando na cidade. Eu quero matar monstro, pô. É, ele não tá aqui, velho.
Well met. I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff.
Amanheceu.
Pleasure doing business with.
Bom, galera, eu vou ficar por aqui. Eu vou ter que fazer a manutenção ali no PS5 do meu irmão, que ele tá com problema também. Tá com aquecimento, demorou? Então, daqui a 1 hora mais ou menos estou de volta. Nós estamos juntos. Valeu!